Monday, the 18th of December 2017. Good evening and thanks for joining me in this edition of the News on Canada English. We begin with the headlines. Governors of the 10 regions are meeting in Yaoundé for their traditional end-of-year conclave. Top on the agenda is security issues affecting the nation. Plus, as Cameroon joins the world today to celebrate the International Migration Day, efforts are being stepped up to bring back home more migrants from Libya that have been trapped in modern-day slavery. And out of the country, Jacob Zuma is no longer the leader of ANC. An election today saw Cyril Ramaphosa emerging the new leader of one of Africa's longest and oldest revolutionary party. Those were the top stories. Now we begin with this story. The Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Nations, Patricia Scotland, is due to arrive Cameroon tonight at the Yaoundé-Simalène International Airport for a 5-day working visit at the invitation of President Paul Biya. She would hold talks with the Minister of External Relations, the President of the Republican wife Chantal Biya, the President of the Senate, and other top government officials. She is also expected to visit the Chantal Biya Foundation, where she would have an encounter with victims of HIV and AIDS. Now, as we announced and in our headlines, governors of the 10 regions are meeting in Yaoundé, and the Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Rene Emmanuel Sadi, says that the government is doing a lot to keep things under control in the northwest and the southwest region of the country. He, however, admitted that so much work still needs to be done. Of course, he was speaking today at the opening of the traditional governors' conclave that began in Yaoundé today. Beatrice Ngamo was there.
Changes in security threats, challenges of living together, and prospects for sub-regional integration.
In the northwest and the southwest region, I can say that the situation is under control. Of course, there are still some few things to do, but our people are safe.
What Bernard Okalia Bilai of Southwest and Adolphe Lele Lafrique of Northwest regions will be tabling before the minister and colleagues during their second semester meeting in Yaoundé. A climate not the same in neighboring West region.
We are also interested with what is happening with our neighbors, so there is our ears are also glued towards that direction, because at the level of the West region there is a spillover with especially in the educational sector, and everything is moving on pretty well.
Regional integration, free trade goes with its own challenges. The Douala Seaport transaction route.
The state of vehicle is very bad. Those cars are not good. So we have to manage with it and to see with the Minister of Transport how to take the measures so that the car or vehicles that are coming to Cameroon, they have to be, let me say, not only new one, but in perfect state.
Managing traffic, ensuring safety and security during this end of year.
I've taken the normal measures to be able to be sure that their property and themselves are secured. We have equally taken measures, and you can notice now that there is less accidents than before. So we think that everything is going to be fine.
The 3-day conclave has on program statements on the relations between the administrative authorities and the threats of the diplomatic missions and consular officers, supervision of the exploitation of mining resources in Cameroon, the transformation of threats to social peace, and measures taken for 2017 end-of-year festivities by the different ministries concerned.
Minister Rene Sadi spoke to our reporter Beatrice Ngamo about some of the stakes at this governors' conclave. Let's take a listen.
Assess the whole situation of the country. Today, of course, you know that the festivities of the end of year are forthcoming, and our concern is to make sure that all Cameroonians, enjoy this end of year safely. And of course, it is the responsibility of administrative authorities, that is governors, SDOs and DOs, to ensure that this becomes a fact, a reality for all of our compatriots. So we will, of course, take time to see the measures, different measures that are taken to make sure that our country will be safe for our compatriots to enjoy the end-of-year festivities. That's why I invited the General Delegate of Security to come and make a communication to the governors concerning all the measures taken by him.
Now, today is being commemorated as the International Migration Day. As Cameroon joins the world to celebrate International Migration Day, more efforts is being put in place on how to see the way to bring back Cameroonians migrants that are trapped in Libya in a modern day form of slavery. Once more, Beatrice Ngamu.
The number of Cameroonian migrants, but the world counts some 258 million migrants today. Poverty, hardship, instability accounts for the reason people search elsewhere for better opportunities and lives. This at the detriment of their own lives.
This year, this celebration comes in a context that you know very well about Libya, where we have many of the migrants who are victims of traffic and suffer in this area.
Between torture, auction sales, rape and murder, thousands of Cameroonians are stuck in Libya. Over 700 are back in the country thanks to the International Organization for Migration, IOM, the government and partners. The celebration of the International Migrants Day this December 18th at the Ministry of External Relations is occasion also to discuss on ways and means to repatriate these Cameroonians. Migration does not have negative effects only, but also beneficial to persons and countries, and it is a right.
The migration also contributes to the development of the country. So we have to better manage the migration.
Message of UN Secretary General on the question of the International Migrants Day this December 18 says, migration has always been with us. Climate change, demographics, instability, growing inequalities and aspiration for a better life, as well as unmet needs in labor market, means it is here to stay. This day's celebration was under the theme, Cross-Border Migration, Stakes and Challenges for Cameroon.
We stay in the nation's capital, where Yaoundé and Fête, commonly known as Iyafe, the end-of-year festival in Yaoundé, has been pushed to December the 24th, 2017 over insecurity reasons at the site of the event. Well, initially scheduled to kick off last Saturday, the event was put on a hold due to a disagreement between the organizers of the event and the divisional officer for Yaoundé 2, as we hear in the following report.
The Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex this Monday afternoon. The color stands all in total calm. The central podium already in place, waiting for its usual action since last Saturday, but till date, no sound. This as administrative authorities refute the holding of the Yaoundé Festival at this site. Yafe has to relocate, this time around, to its place of birth. The reasons advanced is in this letter addressed the organizers inter-program for them to arrange the parking site and ensure real reinforced security. One crisis meeting after another, even before Saturday. After Saturday to Monday, the conclave expands and extends, with three options on the table: the site of the former trade fair ground, just opposite the Yaoundé Conference Center, the esplanade of the Yaoundé Omnisport Stadium, or the Yaoundé 20th May Boulevard. Finally, the choice was made and the new venue and date adopted. Yafe will kick off on Sunday, December 24th, 2017 and will run till January 7, 2018 at the Yaoundé 20th May Boulevard. Some 225 visitors are expected and 230 enterprises have been mobilized. The almost ready stands at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex needs to be relocated to the Yaoundé 20th May Avenue.
Now, good news for mothers and babies. The BCG vaccine that has been out of stock for almost a month is finally here. Well, health officials in the Littoral region happily received their stock. As you tell us, Annette Efeti Summit.
The BCG vaccine against tuberculosis administered to children between 0 and 11 months is once again available. Health authorities in the Littoral region received a consignment this Monday.
And we see that we are all happy to receive this BCG vaccine with the higher instruction of our government.
According to Littoral health authorities, the vaccine will be available in all health institutions as from Tuesday, December 19.
And until tomorrow, the vaccine will be available for all the health facilities, starting from those of the Vori department. It is sufficient to cover all the region for the 3 months, the 3 next months.
After weeks of rupture across the nation, children in the Littoral region from 0 to 11 months, like their peers elsewhere, will have to catch up with the BCG vaccine. It is one of the vaccines administered under the expanded vaccination program.
Well, just to add that the lorry that delivered the BCG vaccine today in the Littoral region is en route to the Southwest region for a similar exercise. That means that the people of the Southwest region would also receive the BCG vaccine as from tomorrow. And something else, a marathon installation gala has propelled a new deputy GM at the Cameroon Water Utility Service CamWater. Jean-Pierre Bijoka was appointed after an extraordinary board session that took place at the headquarters of the corporation on December the 18th. The extraordinary board session was chaired by the board president, Jérôme Obi Eta, as we hear in the following report by Kejan Henry Atembe.
First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the head of state for this confiance put on me. I also like to thank those who contributed to make it happen. And as I said in French a few minutes ago, I'll stand near the GM to carry out the mission, which is.
We shall be bringing you the complete report on a subsequent newscast. We'll now take you to the Northwest region of the country, precisely to the Bui division, where His Lordship George Nkwo, the Bishop of Kumbu Diocese, has blessed Christians, or rather the Christmas tree at the Cathedral Hall in Kumbu in preparation for the celebrations marking the birth of Jesus Christ. Well, the ceremony took place at the choir concert that brought together Christians of the Catholic, Presbyterian and the Baptist Church. Gladys Ambodibang tells us more.
This Christmas tree has been blessed in preparation for the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. To have a feel of the feast that comes up in a week's time, Christians from all the nooks and crannies of Kumbu subdivision massively attended the lighting of the Christmas tree and the choir concert. The ceremony was chaired by His Lordship George Nkwo, Bishop of the Kumbu Diocese, who took time to highlight the significance of the Christmas tree.
If you can't of a Christmas tree, you just bless. A Christmas tree, again, like all the symbols invite us to see the great life coming from God, lighted to show the world that no, Christ is there to move us from the darkness that we experience in the world. That's a clear sign that God is with us, Emmanuel, God among us, coming to brighten our lives, to bring new life to us.
This was basically to get Christians to have a foretaste of Christmas. Now it's more than a week away from Christmas, but it's because next Sunday is the fourth Sunday of Advent, and it's the 24th, so we couldn't push it to the 24th. We brought it this early for Christians to have a feel of Christmas ahead of time.
The choir that participated in the concert thrilled the Christians with angelic voices, and many joined them in singing.
Quite brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Wonderful. Magnificent. I was really impressed by them, and they did very well.
I'm satisfied with the performance of St. Augustine's Choir. They are awesome. I'm satisfied with the Cathedral Youth Mission Choir. They are excellent. You yourself could see their performance. I'm satisfied with the performance of the cadets from Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception Parish, Tobin. I'm satisfied ultimately with the performance of the Cathedral Choir. They are awesome.
The coordinator of the concert has urged choirs in Kumbu to prepare well for the next event, considering this choir concert was the first to be organized in Kumbu in the Bui division in northwest Cameroon.
Now, the 2018 budget for Maiganga, a locality in the Adamawa region, spells good tidings for traders and the city's central market. Now, the cost of acquiring shops in and out of the market will considerably drop in 2018, going by the city's budget, which was voted recently. Our reporter Indira Ayo completes that story.
Traders at the Menganga Central Market in the Adamawa region, who before now paid 22,500 francs as rent for their shops, will henceforth pay only 15,000 francs per month. This is the major outcome of the voting of the 2018 budget for the locality. Meanwhile, those who have shops inside the market will pay even less, being 12,500 francs as rent for their shops. The decision, which is a great relief to traders, was taken by municipal council, who did not fail to underline the fact that this will have a negative impact on the council's finances. We are very happy with this decision. We were giving all our money just for rents. 10,000 francs is not minimal. It is much money to save up. We are very happy with the decision. Municipal councillors sitting in their last session for the year adopted a budget of 980 million francs CFA, which has witnessed an increase of 30 million francs. The budget, which takes into account debts owed by the council, also allocates an amount to cater for over 7,000 refugees from the Central African Republic who have taken up residence in GAM, as well as 4,000 other refugees, as well as the fight against insecurity. The mayor of Menganga, Abubakar Kombo, stressed on the fact that the community plays host to cattle thefts and highway robbery, which will also have to be tackled. In the 2018 budget, 10 million francs CFA has been set aside to facilitate the movement of defense forces in ensuring security throughout Menganga. To boost the budget of the locality, councillors have been urged to work towards developing the cattle rearing and mining sectors, which are a major source of revenue to the Menganga Council.
Well, we'll now take you out of the country, and as we announced in our headlines, one of Africa's oldest revolutionary party, the ANC, has a new leader. Cyril Ramaphosa, South Africa's current deputy president, has been elected the new leader of the ruling African National Congress, the ANC, defeating Lamini Zuma after a series of 10 sessions at the party's conference. Ramaphosa won 2,446 votes against 2,261 votes of Lamini Zuma, making him becoming the leader of Africa's oldest liberation movement. Ramaphosa will replace Jacob Zuma as ANC president and almost certainly run as presidential candidate when South Africa takes to the polls in 2019. Jacob Zuma will remain as president, but it is possible that Ramaphosa and the new national executive may recall him over a series of allegations during his tenure as president. And we now talk sports, where the nominees for the award of the African Player of the Year has moved from 11 to 3 persons. The only Cameroonian player, Vincent Aboubakar, could not make it to this final phase. The 3 players include Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Gabon, Sadio Mane of Senegal, and Mohamed Sahan, the winner of the BBC Africa Player of the Year. Hugo Broos could not also make it among the best coaches in Africa. Only Abudi Ongene and the Indomitable Lions will fly the flag of the country in the awards. And it's on that sports note that we've come to the end of this edition of the News on Canada English. Thanks for watching, and of course, as always, we invite you to stay tuned for more interesting programs on Canada English. Well, that's if you can. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.